This is unbelievable as current and former NBA players are still throwing shade at the Oklahoma City Thunder and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Even though he's having an MVP season, the latest straw polls show that he is going to win MVP. When you look at betting odds, all the signs point towards Shai Gilgeous-Alexander winning MVP, and the Thunder favorites to win the NBA Finals. You look at previous seasons by teams that have done similar feats or the same stuff the Thunder have done. They have gone on to win the finals pretty easily, yet people still want to say the Thunder can't get it done because, they haven't been there before. No team has been there before until they've been there. So that's a stupid excuse. It's a stupid excuse to say that. They can't get it done because they haven't been to the finals before. The team has, not this current iteration of the team, but they've been to the finals before. Players on this team have been to the finals before, have been in deep playoff runs. So that's a BS excuse. It is. So we're going to break down everything that guys like Marcus Morris said, which I didn't even know he was still in the NBA. When I saw him go on First Take, I was like, I guess this means he retired. Nah, he hasn't retired or anything. He's still playing. He's still out in the league. I never knew that. So we're going to take a look at some stuff that he said, some other people have said as well. But there is one guy who is supporting the Oklahoma City Thunder. We'll take a look at him at the very end of the video and what he said about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Before we get into all that, though, just a quick moment. Recognize that around 64% of you guys are not yet subscribed to the channel, but you're watching these videos on a regular basis. If you enjoy the content, find yourself coming back on a regular basis, it means the world to me if you can just hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to support the channel. It's the best way to support me in this journey here at Thunder Digest, especially before the playoffs start. With that out of the way, let's get into it, talking about some things that have been said, diminishing the Oklahoma City Thunder, the success that they've had, and the success Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has had. First thing first, this was said by BJ Armstrong like 2 days ago, I believe. And it's crazy these are all happening within days. Like, it's Friday, April 4th by the time I'm recording this. It was April 2nd year when this was said. Wouldn't surprise me if someone else said something today. But BJ Armstrong isn't impressed with Oklahoma City Thunder winning a lot of games in this era because he believes half the league is tanking. The league has changed. Half the teams are tanking. So let me know, should I be impressed or should I? If we just want to sit here and look at the stat sheet and start comparing, all right, I'll do that. If that's what you want to do. Half the teams are tanking. I respect what the Thunder have done. I respect the players. However, here's the era where it is and what it is. We're fighting teams for not playing their players. I don't recall that happening a few years ago. It's like 8 teams that are tanking, that are truly tanking. Other teams are trying to play and develop players, all right? Because they either know they don't have the picks or, they, like I said, they have young guys they want to develop and they're fine with the team that they have. It's like 8 teams. You have 8 teams constantly tanking every single year. This isn't new. Saying half the league or over half of it is trying to tank is just absurd. The Heat aren't trying to tank. Clearly, majority of the Western Conference isn't trying to tank. So this is just a BS excuse to say, I just don't like them. This is the trend I'm noticing here. When people say they don't like the Thunder, they make up some random excuses of they haven't been there before, or the league isn't competitive now. Clearly, if the Thunder are this good. No, the league's competitive. The Thunder are just this good at what they do. All right, the Thunder are just this good at basketball. So stop with they're not good enough because the league is tanking. I don't think what they're doing is impressive, blah, blah, blah. Stop with that. Stop with that. You're just jealous because you never had this level of success in your NBA career that the players on the Oklahoma City Thunder have had. Now, let's take a look at the next thing here. Marcus Morris. All right, this is crazy. He went on First Take and had some outlandish things to say about the entirety of the NBA and solidified that, hey, just get TV time. You just have to say some crazy things. I've got the Lakers coming out of the West crazy after you're watching what they've been doing. Let's be frank. I wouldn't even say OKC was next. Also crazy when you watch what OKC's been doing. The Clippers is your next pick? And then he goes on to say, as far as to say the Warriors over OKC. What has the Thunder done outside of the regular season? Once again, a just phony excuse to say, I don't like the team. I don't like what they're doing, blah, 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 blah. I just don't like them because, I'm not on that team. That's what it is. The whole, what have they done outside the regular season thing? This team has only been in the playoffs one time, made it to the semifinals, was in a dogfight with the Mavericks. They beat the Mavericks there in that series. I can bet my bottom dollar they beat the Timberwolves just like the Mavericks did and make it to the finals. I guarantee it. All right, I would place a mortgage on that. But no, everyone wants to go they didn't make it to the Western Conference Finals as the youngest 1 seed ever. Oh no. Okay, so what they do? They went and got Isaiah Hartenstein, who's a big center who's been to the playoffs before and is, somewhat of a veteran. Alex Caruso, who has won an NBA championship before, been on multiple deep playoff runs, is one of the greatest defenders in the league, all right, and is also a veteran to help out this team. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's already playing like an MVP last season, is somehow playing even better this season. Jalen Williams took the all-star leap. Chet Holmgren's finally back, looking like he's back in full shape here. Your role players on the team are going crazy. Aaron Wiggins and Isaiah Joe, those guys are going crazy. Okay, you also have Kenrich Williams off the bench. The crazy thing is you don't even got to start Isaiah Hartenstein. Cason Wallace started the other night, and they look fine. All right, you also have Dort, who should be Defensive Player of the Year. It's stuff like that that's going, just blows my mind that people are saying, oh, the Thunder don't have enough to win it. All right, the Thunder, they haven't been there before, so they're not going to do it. Another excuse I see all the time is they're not a deep team. This is the deepest team in the NBA. Mark Daigneault can throw out 12 guys in that lineup, all right? Go 12 guys deep and still beat you because those 12 guys can hoop and hang with your second units, all right? That's how good this team is. I didn't even mention Jay Will, who has looked very impressive. His three ball has improved significantly. His defense has improved a little bit as well, where it's turning into he's a viable option for a backup center. That's what's going on. That is what's going on with this team, but people want to keep doubting him. Let's take a look at the next thing said right here, all right? This was the Pistons announcer. The Pistons play-by-play guy. A measly 3 assists for SGA and 10 for 26 shooting. He may be the MVP, but he's not the best player in the world. The Joker is the best player in the world. He had a 61-point triple-double. Pistons announcer on SGA. This is, S-tier hating at its finest. Oh, we lost the game. We lost. Oh, no. Let me just hate on the other team's player. That is unprofessional. I don't care. You are strictly the Pistons announcer. What he did is unprofessional. It's just pure hating. It's jealousy because, oh, my team's players get thrown out because they want to fight all the time. That's what it is. He was just upset. It's Pistons culture, which I get. All right, bad boy Pistons are back, blah, 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 whatever. Doesn't mean the announcers can just lose all sense of, respect. It's like I said, it is unprofessional to do that. It is extremely unprofessional, but the reason people do this is because they want to diminish what the Oklahoma City Thunder are doing because their teams can't have that level of success because they don't have a genius mastermind at the helm of Sam Presti, who should be the executive of the year when you look at what he's done with this team. All right? It's just all crazy, the things I'm saying about SGA and the Thunder itself. It is just absolutely wild, but there is one guy who now is going to be a Hall of Famer who played for the Oklahoma City Thunder, who had some things to say, all right? This is the beginning of a run for him. He's the evolution of a Penny Hardaway, of a Dwayne Wade, and he's James Harden a little bit. Carmelo Anthony on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Even though Shai is a point guard, I think he's, true role is more of a shooting guard. I think that's what he's more of. I think he would thrive in a system where they have a true point guard instead of him. We're in the point. Maybe Nikola Topic, if he can develop into this all-star potential that he has, could do that for Shai in the future. But the fact that, Carmelo Anthony, Hall of Famer, all right, one of my favorite players of all time, all right, is saying this about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is insane. I love this. This is the one good thing I've said people talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder when you take outside Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins, who have been supporting them pretty much the whole season. All right, I'm not going to include Brian Windhorst in that because Windhorst has been supporting the Thunder since 3 years ago, really. He's been a big time Thunder supporter. So Carmelo Anthony talking about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander like this, saying hey, he's like the final evolution of all the greatest shooting guards that we've seen in the past. I love that. And then he's absolutely correct. When you watch those guys, you see a little bit of a Dwayne Wade in him. You see a little bit of a James Harden. You see a lot of Kobe in him, which is a style of play that he plays at. It is, he's clearly molded his game after the greatest shooting guards of all time, and he's done it well because now he is the greatest scoring guard in the NBA, probably the greatest scorer in the NBA at the moment. So it's one of those things where finally it's nice to see some positive things being said about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but there's just been so much negative around the team and Shai lately where it's it just doesn't make sense. They're hating him because they ain't him. That's what it is. Marcus Morris just upset because even though he hasn't retired, he ain't playing. He had to go on First Take to make some money. All right, BJ Armstrong, no offense, dude. I know you're an all-star, but that's about it that I know about you. That's about it. All right, there's all these random things here. The Pistons announcer, unprofessional, just upset because your team lost, wanted to start a fight at the end. That's what it is. All right. That's all I got for this video. Let me know what you guys personally think about everyone saying this. Frankly, I don't care what Marcus Morris says because I know this team and they're going to do well in the playoffs and they're going to win the whole finals. All right, they're going to win the whole damn thing. So I don't care what Marcus Morris is saying or PJ Armstrong or any of these other guys because they don't know ball. That's why. That's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next video.